Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, the Meryl Diaries. Today in this video we're going to be talking about three things. First and foremost being the tragic and horrific death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and the 7 other people that were on board his helicopter. We're also going to be looking at the significance of the date of his death, which was January 26th. And then thirdly, why I don't upload or do conspiracy videos anymore. I'm not going to make this a very long video, and I'm not going to go into as much detail about it as I could. In fact, I'm going to link another YouTuber's video in the description box, the Gematria Effect News, for, a more in-depth look at the numbers, because he really goes very heavily into the Gematria. I understand Gematria, but I just look at the obvious numbers that the media and the news stations report initially. I look at what is very obvious, because they try to make it obvious and they hide it in plain sight. So I think most of the world was stunned to hear the news of Kobe's passing. He just seemed like, he was, we all know Kobe was kind of a larger than life figure. The last thing that most people would expect would be for him to pass away at such a young age, and certainly not expect he and his daughter would be killed on the same day together. I don't think anyone was expecting that on Sunday, but I knew that something was going to happen, that there would be the death of a major celebrity, simply because the week of January 20th through the week of January 27th is a very, they're high satanic days. We had already seen the death of David Stern and a couple of other celebrities, and, the 20th through the 27th are days of sacrifice. It has to be a blood sacrifice. Usually there is a sexual aspect to it as well. It usually involves abduction and the holding of whoever the victim is for the sacrifice itself. And then the new moon comes up on the 25th. And so the 26th is, the end of the winter solstice. And usually right before the new moon is the day in which the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world is the thinnest. So it is the day that they, do their spells and, honor their God, offer these blood sacrifices to him for the upcoming year. So I knew that there was going to be a really big celebrity who would die. Also, they usually do this right before the Grammy ritual that they have, which is one of the sick and sinister things about Hollywood, or Hollyweird, as many people call them, because they will kill you and then they will mourn you and celebrate you at the same time. We saw that with the death of Whitney Houston in 2012, right before the Grammys, and she died, allegedly was killed. I say allegedly, but those of us who know. And so on the the Grammy stage Sunday night, of course, they held it in the Staples Center. Alicia Keys even said, while making the 666 symbol, that we're standing, in the house that Kobe built. And they, of course, his jerseys were on display, the 2 jerseys that he wore in his career, the number 8 and the number 24 Lakers jersey. The opening, ceremony was with Lizzo. Lizzo was making the Baphomet symbol, the 2 middle fingers down and the pointer finger and the pinky up, symbolizing, their god, which is the horned god or Baphomet. And it was all on display throughout the ceremony. I remember watching Charlie Wilson doing his performance, and he made the 666 symbol so many times in succession that it was just it was kind of overkill, but they all did it. And we know we've seen Kobe do it. We know that he was a part of the cabal. Everything about his career has been coded in numbers. We know that they do everything by the numbers. In fact, there is a movie called Murder by Numbers, and it has numbers encoded into the words of the movie. And so Kobe played his first NBA game at the age of 18. We know that that is 666. He wore the number 24, which is a series of, 4 6s. And I told someone that I was close to, when the numbers started coming out in the media, that we would see, the numbers 3 and 6 throughout, and the number 13 throughout. The number 13 is the antithesis of the kingdom of light, whereas Christ had 12 apostles, and he being the head. There is said to be 12 families who really run all of this, with peons that work, underneath them in, various political arenas and, corporate arenas and what have you. But 13 is a number that they use a lot, with the 12 families running it and Lucifer at the head. So, I was looking at, all of the numbers that were being reported in the media from the time that the plane took off, 9:06, Kobe being age 41, you have 13 and 6 again to the time that the plane crashed, which was 9:47, which would be 41 minutes from the time that it took off, and Kobe being 41. It was just all coded throughout. Even the date of the plane crash, 126, which is 27. There's this whole 27 club thing, which is just 999, but if you invert it, it is 666. So most people in the I guess you could call it the conspiracy community, believe that this was a ritual sacrifice for the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. The number 4 and 9 equals 13. Kobe was born on 8/23. When you add up those numbers, you get 13. Kobe was also the 13th overall NBA draft pick. And then we have the Comedy Central video that was made a couple of years ago, which depicts Kobe going down in a helicopter crash and 5 rings falling out. Take a look.
It's Kobe Bryant.
Help me.
Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out.
Pass.
Okay, so then the helicopter explodes and it's inferred that Kobe is killed. But another thing I want you to notice is how the basketball trophies look like the pillar of Baal, how they make them to resemble it, so accordingly. And we also see this like with the Oscar trophy and the Grammy trophy. They're always worshiping their God right in our face. And I guess, that's everybody's right. And we live in a country where we have freedom of religion, but there are a lot of things that are just so obvious that a lot of laymen just miss. Like, they don't realize that they're participating in ritual ceremonies that are taking place and being enacted on the blood of someone else's back. So this is an example of predictive programming, this Comedy Central video. We've seen this before, on, other adult cartoon channels, like with the prediction of President Trump, being president. We also see these Kobe toys, these Kobe helicopter toys that they had come out with. And I know it's no secret that Kobe has been using a helicopter as a preferred means of transportation, getting to and from games, ever since he played in the NBA. But it is just very, very uncanny. So, this night, Sunday night, was just a weird night. The Rock Nation has their brunch right before the Grammys every year. And when I'm looking at all the pictures that are coming out and, Jay-Z throwing up the Baphomet symbol, Beyonce doing the 666 symbol, him standing behind her so that only half of his face is shown, only one eye is shown. Again, paying reference to the all-seeing eye, their goat, horned God, it's just very, very sinister. And I know that at these parties, that there's more that goes on than just brunching, because again, as I've stated, we know what this day means to them, what this whole week has meant to them. Now, I don't make conspiracy videos anymore. That's my third point, and I'm about to get off of here. I don't make conspiracy videos anymore because there were just very strange things that were happening to me when I started making them. Those videos got thousands of views. I would talk about, things like who the Nephilim were and, the days of Noah and the days that we're living in, a lot of things that I was seeing in regards to them rolling out lookalikes of celebrities and, just the different things that they were showing us in movies. And those videos garnered a lot of views. But right around the time I started doing those videos, my email accounts and other social media accounts were being hacked. My daughter's accounts were being hacked. There were strange people that started following me on Twitter, because I would often tweet about, certain things. And I remember tweeting about something that the Holy Spirit had shown me in the spirit. I remember these 3 strange accounts had started following me who had strange, profile pictures. And they kept retweeting the tweet amongst each other. Like one would retweet it and the other one would retweet it, and they were saying, "Hey, we have a seer over here." And then it just sort of it just sort of threw up a red flag for me that was on their radar. And then once I pulled my Twitter profile, where they tag your account with certain words, like what type of account you are. And so they had me tagged as, conspiracy theorist, a supporter of Black Lives Matter. There were some other tags. I'll have to go back and look at it, but it was just really, really weird, and it made me uneasy. And then one YouTuber that I used to watch all the time, Mary 40, she took down all her videos, and people were wondering where she went. And she came back and she did a video saying that, she had taken down all her videos. She just looked really nervous in the video. She was asking people if they had any of her videos, snippets of them that they were using, to please take those videos down out of respect for her, if they had ever, really truly been a friend to her. And she just seemed really nervous, and it just confirmed what I had been feeling, that, people who do these kind of videos, they're often targeted. And it's not that I'm afraid, but it's just that we don't have any solution. So if I'm going to present the problem, then I would like to be able to present a solution as well, because it really takes a lot out of people to do videos like this. It's very disheartening. It's emotionally and mentally exhausting. And so I just decided to not do those, to stick with, tech videos and how-to tutorials and things like that. One final thing I want to say, and then I'm going. So, I told you how all of these corporations are, really a part of the cabal. We know, Google and Facebook and all of those people. And when Kobe first died, Google had listed his death as an assassination. And then about 24 hours ago, they changed it from assassination to death date. And there was actually an article that kind of covered it, because they had picked up on it too. And, they wrote a news story about it. So all I can do all I would leave you with is to just be sober and be vigilant and realize that we're living in strange and dark times. Like, we really are living in the last days. And for people who don't know Christ, I would suggest that you get to know him. One of the things that Kobe's death has shown us is that we never know when it's our time to go. And to not make a choice is to choose. And I don't want anybody to spend eternity in the lake of fire, because eternity is a very, very long time. So anyway, friends, this has been Meryl Weep. If you've enjoyed this video, like it, leave a comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys again soon.